Welcome to Suburban On Air, Cohen in the City, and it's a pleasure to have an old friend, stand-up comedy icon in Montreal, Joey Elias. Welcome, Joey.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. And Yushana Houston, who's with On Our Own, which is for short O3. And we're here to talk about a very exciting event. Now, I've been writing about the Joey Elias and the Comedy All-Stars, an Evening of Hilarity for the benefit of On Our Own for the last number of years. I've been to some of the shows at the Club Soda. And you know, it's funny, when the pandemic came around, I was thinking, geez, what are they going to do? Because they always call me around July, August, and you know, Ian McLean calls me, can you give us a little push in the paper? And thank goodness for the Royalmount Drive-In Event Theatre, which has rescued so many. So Joey, you're going on August 26th. How did you come about making that decision?
We knew we were going to do the show. We just knew it wasn't going to be a Club Soda this year. So we tossed around a bunch of ideas. I mean, it went from being in a park to, you know, just trying to get as many people to come out and have a good time. I mean, obviously the need to help out the organization doesn't stop just because there's a pandemic. I mean, I understand everybody's in a very different position that they were a year ago or even a month ago, and everybody's feeling a crunch financially. But you know, as Ushana will explain later, what exactly On Our Own does. Imagine if you're in their position, these young individuals, and you were given a second shot at life, and then everything just took a hard left turn. And we can't forget these people. We can't just leave them in the shadows. So it was imperative that we got this show off the ground. And it was, you know, media experts and Mark Sherman and Ian McLean and Ushana and everybody, Jennifer Douglas, everybody that just decided what's the best venue, what's the best way to keep the show going. And everything just fell into place with the guys at Royalmount.
So it's coming up on August 26th, but Yushana, maybe we should just start off with, for viewers who are not familiar with On Our Own, to explain what your mandate is.
Sure. We are a transitional housing program right in many of our backyards, right in NDG. We provide subsidized housing and social services to vulnerable young parents and their children that are 0 to 5 years old. So we have these young, vulnerable families with us who come from difficult situations. It could be from domestic violence, from a shelter, from foster care. And this is the first safe place that they have. And we help them set up their apartment. We help them improve parenting skills. We do budgeting and financial. We help them get back into school and identify a career path. And one of the biggest things we do, or I should say two of the biggest things we do, is one, create community. Maybe they didn't have safe families, they didn't have friends before they came to us, and we make a family at O3. And then the second thing we do is we offer childcare and respite so that they can have a break. And when the pandemic hit, that was the thing that kept me up most at night. You have subsidized safe housing. We can get you food. We can find people to donate money or donate food. What I couldn't do was provide childcare. So for at least 2 months, for that first initial big shutdown, I had young moms at home with young children 24/7 without a break. And that was the most heartbreaking part of the pandemic for me, for both parents and children. The children needed to get out, the moms needed a break, and it was really tough.
Joey, what prompted you a number of years ago to choose this charity for you to spearhead it, to have this event?
Mark Sherman and Ian McLean approached me, and it was just, you know, it was one of those things where you always think about people in need not being in your neighborhood type of thing. You know, it was always, oh, that's a problem on the other side of town almost. And then when they approached me and you realize this is an NDG, this is in our backyard. This isn't on the other side of town. This is right in the heart of pretty much down the street from where I grew up. And to think that, you know, at any point in time that I could have walked, you know, from where I grew up, a very good life that I was given just down the street, literally, one bus away if I wanted. And right there is a world of opportunity. That's the way I look at it. It's not, I think they should add another O, and that's opportunity. And that's because I think everybody deserves a second chance, pretty much, unless it's a heinous, heinous act. Everybody deserves a second chance. And this is just a beautiful, when they explained to me what it was just so incredible. And then when you get to see it firsthand, when you meet some of the individuals that have come through and then have kind of graduated, if you will, it's really neat to see. And what's incredible is the self-confidence of these people. You see how much it grows and how, you know, they just take pride in what they're doing now, and they take pride in the fact that they have a job and they're doing well in school and that their child is healthy. You can't buy that anywhere. I mean, this is just an amazing experience. And then the first time I got to see it firsthand was just so overwhelming. I think everybody should see this firsthand, and I think that people would hand over money.
Joey, it's August 26th at Royalmount. Can you tell us the lineup and how the evening's going to go?
Yeah, I mean, Lawrence Corber, who is going to be the host and MC, he's been doing that like the last 3 or 4 years. And then we always try to promote some of the up-and-coming local talent. So Harrison Weinreb, who is one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life. I think he's 21. And then you have Amanda McQueen, also one of the hottest comics coming up on the scene. And Rodney Ramsey, who's been a mainstay here in the Montreal scene and across Canada. You know, he did the Underground Railroad comedy tour a couple of years ago across Canada. So that was his big thing. And he's just a great guy. It's going to be a fun night, a different night. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what it's going to be like being up on a giant stage in the middle of a parking lot. It's exciting for me as a performer, because it's something you thought you would never do. And I always like doing I always like playing new venues and stuff so this is definitely, I wouldn't have put it on the bucket list a year ago, but it's up there now.
Well, the Just for Laughs had 2 evenings. They said it was going to be rain or shine. Apparently, I wasn't there, but apparently it went very well. So thank goodness for this venue, because they've really rescued so many people in our community, allowing them to carry on with some events.
Yeah, and even a graduation. I know they held a few graduations over there, and
that's right.
I checked out even the movies. I'm going to go see a movie.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's a great thing that these 2 entrepreneurs came up with, Adam Boltz and Lauren Levitt. I salute them all the time for it. Yushana, this is a very vital fundraiser for your organization, and the sponsors are covering your overhead as well. So this really has the potential every year to help you. I believe it brings in about over $100,000 a year. There's been over 600,000 that has gone to you. So it's important, correct?
It is, you know, as always, funds are important, but this year it's particularly important because we have additional costs. We're planning for potentially schools. We still don't know if schools are reopening. They may reopen, they may be on a modified schedule. Moms are still studying, some are working, and so we're gonna have to fill in that gap to make sure that our kids don't fall behind academically, which they're more at risk of doing because they come from difficult backgrounds. So we're going to need additional childcare to respect the public health guidelines for smaller groups. We're going to need probably to hire some part-time teachers to help do homework help club and make sure that our kids get the support they need. Work with the parents to help their children study online, because a lot of this is going to be online, or they have to print stuff out and then figure out how to scan and send it back to the teacher. So we're going to need additional human resources to make sure that our kids do not enter the school year behind when things do get back to normal, and to be able to respect the public health guidelines and keep our families safe. So more than ever this year, additional funds are necessary.
Joey, you make your living as a stand-up comic. You also, by the way, do an outstanding feature on Global TV, Average Joe. I watch it every week, and frankly, if I were the program director, I'd make it a 30-minute weekly show. I always said, you know, we don't have our own late-night show, and I love to see Joey Elias have his own show. Late night with Joey Elias, comes out, gives his monologue, does his interviews. But Joey, how has the pandemic impacted you as a stand-up comic?
It has been weird. you know, when it first started, there was nothing going on. So it was just a lot of sitting around and biding your time and trying to keep a, you know, positive thoughts and not think about, you know, what could be. And now that it's opening up again, the Comedy Nest is up and running, with all the, you know, the COVID features and safety precautions. So that's new. Even in Ontario, I was in Ontario doing some shows in Ottawa and Kingston, and their laws, they have, you have to have plexiglass in front of the stage. So it's very different. I mean, people are still a little hesitant to come out. And I think that was one of the reasons also. The drive-in theater just seemed to be a very friendly venue for this thing, for, you know, this show, that some people just don't want to go indoors yet. So this seemed logical. But in terms of stand-up, I mean, a lot of COVID material still coming out.
I was going to ask you, what is a typical COVID material that's in good taste?
Well, everybody's talking about their own experience. So for me, it was just being alone, and, you know, Rodney's got a family. So when I saw Rodney, it was all about, you know, COVID in a house with a infant and another and a wife, and then other people are, you know, talking about their roommates or their parents. So everybody's got a different take. And surprisingly enough, most people still aren't too offended about talking about it. I think it's almost at the point where some people, I don't want to jinx anything, but I feel like some people think it is over.
Well, Donald Trump thinks it's over.
He never thought it started. So, you know.
I mean, he's got to be good material for you, Donald Trump. I mean, every day you just watch him, and he's like a dream for a comic, isn't he?
Yeah, there are moments where I get so frustrated. I can't imagine how somebody so inept has come to such a position of power. It's just terrifying.
And by the way, Justin Trudeau isn't doing too badly either with some of the stuff that's going on with him. I'm sure that he's provided with you some material.
The wee kids are good. Yeah, the brothers, those two brothers were more source of humor than Trudeau was for me. Yeah. But I try to stay off the politics now. It's just more about, again, trying to be positive and staying upbeat through all this craziness.
Absolutely. I'm going to put all the information for this event in the body of the video, so people will be able to get the information on how to get tickets. I want to commend both of you. I want to wish you the best of luck, and I hope everything goes well on August 26th.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks for being with me.
And thanks for all the support over the years, Mike.
Yes.
You got it. It'll continue no matter what. So these have been my guests. Look in the body of this vlog, and you'll be able to get all the information on a great evening of entertainment.